did watch Five Nights at Freddy's after the last show,
And
which I agree with you, your assessment. It could have been more. You know, like, so I love the idea of the animatronics coming alive, and it's an old 80s theater. Like, they really captured that feel. That's wow enough. Like, that's enough for me. That's exciting. The whole backstory of like the kid's brother was like so unnecessary. Like, one, it's depressing, and two, is I don't really care. Like, go back to the animatronics. That's the story. You don't need to do this whole like, you know, when he's like, oh, in the dreams, the ghost kids in my dreams. I'm like
what?
It's too much.
Like, yeah.
I mean, Matthew Lillard coming out with that bunny suit's like creepy enough. Like, I don't know. You didn't. They had too many layers, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. It would like save that for part 2 or something. You know, like oh, we're gonna dive a little deeper into it.
The chick that was a cop did not need to be like, oh, I'm just hanging out here. You know, I knew about this. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is the plot was all screwed up. The premise is cool.
Yeah.
They didn't execute the plot the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. And same thing. Like, it was like literally 5 characters, and so like, you know, it's pretty empty town. Like, what?
Right.
There's one cop in town. It's like, is this all made up? You know, like,
one cop in town, and she hangs up. She's like, I know where they keep the first aid kit, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Ding, ding. Yeah. And then when she's like, they found the body in a dumpster, and
like when Matthew Lillard in the beginning said like, oh, the owner's kind of weird, and he wants to keep it standing, and I knew it was him. I'm like, okay, it's obviously him. The way he's talking, it's going to be him, and that's fine. And if they kept it on that same path, that would have been okay. But it was like the whole like the dreams and the brother was like just too much.
Yeah, and maybe I wasn't paying attention because like I thought it was his daughter at first, then it was his sister, and I'm like, what? Like,
I thought it was his daughter too.
Yeah, I was like, that's just kind of the normal. And then I'd be like, well, what is? They're gonna take her away. I'm like, I don't know if they can do that, but
yeah, I don't think so.
It's just
the aunt was very unnecessary too. You know,
who played the aunt? Now I can't remember.
Aunt was a famous actress.
And I just can't think of it right now. But the film did well, which one is good. I do appreciate
it did.
These films do well because then
Mary Stuart Masterson was the aunt.
Oh yes, and she looked about this. I was thinking, you know, some kind of wonderful. She didn't look too different than. I was glad to see her. I should say.
Yeah. No, she did a good job. But the aunt was like, well, I'm going to get that kid, and hiring people to like vandalize the place he's working. That
Which just did not make sense at all.
Did not make sense. Other than that, though, I really enjoyed the theatrics of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Maybe they should have made it more of like this took place in 1987 or something. You know, like
that would have been fun.
That way, because they were like, is there cameras everywhere? You know, like.
Yeah, right.
I think you would get caught.